Hello guys and gals, and welcome to a very shadowy, very ethereal set known as Natalya's Odium. Natalya's Odium is a very interesting set because it is one of the only sets in the game that makes you ethereal. As you can see, you can barely even see my character. Even in the old game, it would make you ethereal, which is a pretty cool effect to add to an armor. We only have four pieces on this set. The Natalya's Mark, Scissors, Swaya, the Natalya Totem and Grimhelm, the Natalya's Shadow Loricated Mail, and the Natalya's Soul Mesh Boots. Now, some of these items will not upgrade, but I do have the gems for them just in case, because we're always gonna put them in there and just test them and make sure that they don't upgrade. And I'm pretty sure that these Scissors Suwaya are not going to upgrade, as well as the Loricated Mail, I'm pretty sure is higher tier. So we're really looking at the Mesh Boots and the Grimhelm. And the Mesh Boots are probably one of the most important upgrade items I've ever thought of. Because if you were a Kixen and you really wanted to use Natalya's, well, you're limited by your boots. Well, being able to upgrade these to the higher tier is, of course, going to increase the kick damage on these, which is something that's going to be very nice. Now, let's go over each piece individually, and then we'll talk about the full set bonus, and then we'll upgrade. So we have Natalya's Mark, Scissors, Swaya. Swaya. That's right. 120 to 153 damage, melee range of 1, by the way, because it's a claw. 118 dex, 118 strength, level 79 requirement. It does have 40% increased attack speed, which is pretty massive. It has 200% enhanced damage, which is static. ITD, which will make sure that whatever target you're shooting at, whatever target you're hitting, whatever skill you're utilizing that utilizes attack rating, it will ignore attack rating as a calculation. It will still factor in things like level, so if you're relatively low level compared to the monster that you're fighting, that will have some effect, but attack rating will not matter. It's also important to note that ignores target's defense does not work on bosses, so you will need attack rating to hit those bosses. We also have 200% damage to demons and 200% damage to undead. And since the majority of the monsters in the game are either demons or undead, you can relatively say that that's a 200% off-weapon ED bonus to just about every monster in the game, which is really nice. We have 12 to 17 fire damage plus 50 cold damage, which has a 4-second duration, by the way. And of course, you can throw a socket in this, and you can make it a little bit better. There are no green bonuses on this. Some of these higher sets don't have any green bonuses, which is interesting. We also have Natalya's Grim Totem. Natalya's Grim Totem is a Grimhelm, and it's actually kind of nice for other characters too. It has 426 defense, which is relatively high, considering that it has only about, I think it's like 190 something base, I think. But it does have a relatively high bonus defense, which does vary. So keep that in mind. We also have plus 20 to 30 dexterity, which varies. We have plus 10 to 20 on the strength, which varies. We also have a variance on the all resistances of 10 to 20. So lots and lots of variances here. Variances on the defense, variances on the strength, variances on the dex, variances on the all resistances. So it's a little difficult to find yourself in Natalya's totem in good shape. If you were actually going to use this set and you wanted to utilize it on a regular basis, this would probably be something that you would look for, to find those really nice stats. Let me do a double check here because the 301 defense on mine seems to be a bit high, and I just want to look up really quickly Natalya's totem. Because I feel like that defense might be a little too high for what it's supposed to be. Sometimes with these items, if they're older versions of the items that I have from my files, they'll still have their original defense, kind of like from a pre-patch. And it does look like the defense is supposed to be 135 to 175 on the bonus, which means it is going to be a little bit lower than what is rated here. We're looking at 300 on the maximum defense for this helmet, and we're probably going to have to factor that in when we do the upgrade as well. I'll have to pay attention to that. You can also put a socket in this, of course, and you can throw something in here to make it a little bit better. We also have Natalya's Shadow Loricated Mail. The Loricated Mail is an elite armor already, so unfortunately we probably won't be able to upgrade this. It is 721 defense, 149 strength requirement, and level 73. It is a very interesting armor, though, because it has +2 to Shadow Disciplines, which is very nice. It has a bonus defense of 150 to 225, varies a little bit. We also have life based on character level of 1 per level, so at level 73, when you can throw this on, it's going to be 73 extra life. We also have 25% poison resistance, and then poison length reduced by 75%. And then we have sockets. Now, the sockets vary, which does make this armor sometimes not worth keeping. You want to find one that has 3 sockets, and put that on. Plus 3 sockets, so it's 1 to 3 sockets, and 3 is what you're looking for. Now, it's really interesting because this armor kind of competes with Griswold's Heart for a 3-socket armor that has other effects. You can customize this, obviously, to the way that you would particularly want, and honestly, I think Natalya's Shadow Loricated Mail kind of beats out the Griswold's Heart in a lot of use case scenarios. I mean, you're getting a bonus to life, you're getting the poison length reduction and the poison resistance, and if you compare it versus Griswold Heart, I think sometimes you'll find that this is the superior choice. Now, we also get the Natalya's Soul Mesh Boots. Now, Natalya's Soul Mesh Boots are actually pretty nice. They're 169 defense. They do vary a little bit there. 75 to 125 on the defense variable. We got 40% faster run walk, so they're really fast boots. We also get heal stamina plus 24%, which is based on character level of 0.25 per level. Most people are not really going to care about this, but it will, obviously, at level 25, be very nice to help keep your character running. A lot of people kind of look at this set, and you've got the 73 on the armor, you've got the 79 on the weapon, you've got the 59 on the helmet, but the boots are just relatively low-level boots, and they can be utilized on a lot of different characters. Now, the cold resistance and the lightning resistance vary on these boots from 15 to 25%. So if you find a perfect set of these, you're looking at 125 defense and 25% on both resistances. And, of course, these are upgradable, so we're going to play around with that. Now, Natalya's set is a set that also has bonuses. So let's take a look and see what the 2-piece bonus is, which is magic damage reduced by 15. Always nice to have a little bit of magic damage reduced by. We also have 200 extra defense added from the set bonus of 3 pieces. And then for the entire set, you get +3 to assassin skills, 14% mana, 14% life, 350 defense, so we bumped up from 200 to 350, so an extra 150 for the full set. All resistance is 50, which is a pretty large bonus to our all resistances, and then we get damage reduced by 30%, which is freaking nuts. Now, the damage reduced by 30% really is the big thing here, because if you calculate in Fade, if I was rocking Fade, for instance, level 20 Fade would give me 20% DR, and the armor is giving me 30, which means I would be at 50%, which is the cap for damage reduction. You could also be rocking a Storm Shield, which is 35%, which is also going to throw you over the cap. Now, it is important to note that going over the cap is not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people would say, oh, you're over the 50% cap, you've wasted it, but that's not really the case. It's called overprotection. So if you get Amplify damaged, Amplify damage will bring down your physical resistance by 100%. If you're at the 50% cap, exactly, then you will be at negative 50% because Amplify damage is reducing you by 100 and you're at 50. So it's going to reduce you 50 to 0, and then it's going to reduce you another 50 to negative 50%. But if you have overprotection from physical damage in the form of, say, for instance, Natalya's, Fade, Storm Shield, String of Ears, Verdungos, various things that will give you more damage reduction over the cap, this kind of thing can protect you from Amplify damage and Decrepify. And to actually have enough overprotection to still hit the 50% cap with Amplify damage on you, you would need 150%. It's pretty ridiculous. But having a little bit of overprotection is certainly not a bad thing. Now, let's take a look and see what we can do to upgrade this set. So first off, let's just double triple check with a Pull, a Lumrune, and a Perfect Emerald with the Natalya Scissors. And as you can see, they do not upgrade. So let's also check with the Natalya's Loricated Mail with a Lem, a Co, and a Perfect Diamond, just to double triple check. And as you can see, they do not upgrade. This is because this is already elite. Both of these items were already elite. Now the Grimhelm, on the other hand, will upgrade. The Grimhelm is going to go from 300 defense. I'm reading off the website because mine's wrong. 58 strength, 59 level requirement. And it goes to less defense. Why would it do that? Well, the answer is because the Grimhelm, which upgrades into the Bone Visage, the two variables overlap each other, and this is kind of important to note. So, Natalya's totem is a Grimhelm, which is 60 to 125 defense. The Bone Visage is 100 to 157 defense. So if Natalya's Grimhelm rolled with relatively high defense, like 125, and then you go to upgrade it to a Bone Visage, you will end up with a variable between 100 and 157. And unless it rolls higher than the 125 that the Grimhelm rolls, there's a very good chance that the Bone Visage can actually downgrade its defense, which says to me that upgrading the Natalya's Visage the Visage into the Bone Visage, the Natalya's Totem into the Bone Visage, getting tongue-tied here, is a bad idea. You are more often than not actually going to lose defense, as well as increase the level requirement to ridiculous heights, to level 70. And that's just not good. Now, I do think that the Natalya's Soul Mesh Boots, on the other hand, will be a good upgrade. These boots are going to increase their kick damage as well as their defense, and both of these things are going to be very nice for us. So right off the bat, let's take a quick look really quick at the kick damage of these boots. So the kick damage for set items for some reason does not show. This is a bug that's been in the game for a while, if I remember correctly. So right now, in the mesh boot form, they are 25 to 52 kick damage. However, when you upgrade these to the Hell version or the Elite version, they're going to go to Bone Weave boots, which are 192 defense, 118 strength, and level 61. And the kick damage is going to go up to the new version of the boots, which is the Mesh boots, the Bone Weave boots. And the Bone Weave boots have a kick damage of 9 to 118. So we go from 23 to 52 to 9 to 118. Now that means that the bottom end did drop out a little bit from 23 to 9, but the top end basically doubled. What is that? 52. So 52 plus 52 is 104. So we more than doubled the top end of the kick damage on these boots. The defense went up a little bit, which is certainly nice, but I think the main consideration here is that if you are a martial arts assassin, and if you are trying to get the most kick damage you can out of a pair of boots, and you really want to use the Natalya set, which is a pretty decent set, the kick damage on the boots is going to be holding you back. Well, no longer. The kick damage on the boots no longer holds you back, because now you can upgrade them to the Bone Weaves. Now, granted, they're still not going to be as good as, like, Myrmidon Greaves, which are 83 to 149, or the Mirrored Boots, which are 50 to 145, but obviously you're no longer held back by the relatively low damage of the Mesh Boots, which is 23 to 52. Now, granted, the level did go up to level 61, and the strength requirement went up to 118, but 118 should be just fine, considering the strength requirement on the Scissors Suaya is also 118. So you're going to need 118 to wield the scissors, and you're going to need 118 to wield the boots. And you also are going to need 149 to put on the armor. So keep that in mind. So the boots, yes. The helmet, no. The rest of the armor can't be upgraded, and that's just really sad. This set does seem to be very specifically pointed at a melee assassin, obviously a martial arts where it kicks in with the relatively large amount of mana and lifesteal. It also has a relatively nice amount of ignores target's defense, damage to demons, damage to undead, bonus damage, increased attack speed. I mean, it really seems to be kind of making you an assassin, which is getting in there and getting, into trouble. The 30% damage reduction, also very, very nice for getting in there and getting into trouble. And of course, we also get the +3 assassin, and then we get +2 shadow on the armor, which it's not quite +6. A lot of these other sets, they seem to like give you like tabs, like skill tabs on every item, and then adds up to like +5 or +6 or something like that. This one didn't quite do the same thing. It's just giving you the +3 on the assassin, but +5 to shadow, which is not bad. And of course, you can customize this very well. What I actually did on my character, my Blade Fury Assassin, was I took 3 40% ED jewels, and I threw them in here for the Blade Fury Assassin in lieu of a Fortitude. And it was actually very, 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 very good. The +2 shadow disciplines combined with the bonus damage, combined with the life, and the poison length reduction and stuff like that. It worked out very, very nicely. I did eventually get myself a Fortitude and replace this, but this is actually much more common than a Fortitude. So until you actually get your hands on a Fortitude, you could be rocking this with some nice jewels in it. You could even put 3 15% IAS jewels in it if you wanted. 15% IAS jewels are not hard to come by. So all in all, Natalya's set is certainly an interesting one, and that upgrade is probably one of the better upgrades that I've seen so far. There have been some upgrades that were not so great, I will admit, but this one seems like a really solid upgrade for any assassin who is specifically trying to utilize kick damage with Natalya's set. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even when you can see through my armor. And keep watching.